I've been running online businesses for the last 4 years, and these are the 5 things that helped me achieve success in what I did. And we're going to run through basically 1 through 5, and they go chronologically. So 1 is obviously at the start of your journey, 5 is as you're getting to the end of your journey. Not the end necessarily, but just as you're in the growing phases of your online businesses. So if you're currently running an online business, listen up, take a minute, put some headphones in, sit down for a second, take some notes, and listen to what I've got to say, because this could help you grow your business. Starting with number 1, stop caring what other people think of you. Bottom line is, people are going to think about you anyway. You might as well have them think about how well you're doing or how successful you are. Regardless, if it's difficult if you're in school or you're in a weird setting, but people are going to talk about you anyway, right? People spoke about me when I started my online businesses and they didn't necessarily like me, but it didn't stop me running them. And now I'm rich, they're not. So really, does it matter? No. People are going to talk about you anyway. So you've got to stop caring what people think, because if you keep caring what people think, you're never going to get anywhere in life, and you're going to stay exactly where you are, exactly as where everyone else is. And that's why they stay where they are, because a lot of people are too scared to even stand out from the crowd a little bit. People won't even wear like a weird top. Like if you're in public and you see someone with a weird top, people go, oh, look at that guy, he's got like a pink top on. If people are too scared to even wear a different coloured shirt, imagine how scary it is for people to actually start an online business or start posting online. Posting online is scary. But as soon as you start posting online, it gets a whole bunch easier because you do it again and again and again. And every day, it just gets a little bit easier. And eventually, you stop caring about the likes, you stop caring about the views, and you stop caring about the comments and what people think. Because at the end of the day, it's you who's getting rich, it's you who's growing forwards, and it's you who's going to succeed. It doesn't matter what other people think. People can sit on the other side of a laptop or the other side of a phone and say what they want, and it really doesn't actually matter because none of this happens in real life. I guarantee you, no one's going to come up to you in person, unless maybe you're in school or it's like a setting like that. No one's actually going to come up to you and say something negative. So it's not real. It's all just online. It's all digits on a screen, and it doesn't actually matter. So first of all, get that out of your head. Before you even start a business, you need to not care what other people think, because if you do, you're going to be stuck exactly where you are and you're never going to progress. Number 2, you've got to learn a high income skill. Now, a high income skill that I learned, for example, was cold outreach on Instagram, and it was basically sales. It was a format of sales because sales is basically everything in life. So I learned to sell through Instagram DMs to start with. This was when I was like 16 years old. I'd started an online coaching company for powerlifters. I don't know if you can tell. Obviously, my biceps are massive, but I actually used to train in the gym quite a lot. Not so much anymore. But I used to train in the gym all the time, and I used to do powerlifting, and I was actually quite good at it. So I started posting on Instagram, back to stage 1 of not caring what other people think. I started posting on Instagram videos of me in the gym doing powerlifting. Like, I had a 300 kilo deadlift when I was 17, 140 kilo bench, and a 220 kilo squat. Anyway, because I was posting online, I had a whole bunch of people message me saying, wow, you're really good in the gym, you've got great squat, bench, and deadlift numbers, how do I do the same? What did you do? Was it like a specific program you'd had? So I thought, great, I'm going to sell this. So I packaged it into a coaching business, which was basically, you pay me X amount, I think it was 45 quid a month I used to do, 45 to 120 quid a month, depending on what you wanted. And I would write your program, I'd track your progress, I'd do everything, I'd give you all my knowledge that I'd learned to get to that position at where I was, and I'd give it to you, and I'd sell that, and that's how I made a bit of money to start with. I was like 16, 17 years old, making like 2-3 grand a month, which to me was sick. Like, that was good to me because I was in school. So it's important that you figure out your high income skill and what you can do. Maybe it's something you're good at. Maybe I was good at powerlifting. Maybe you're good at something else. I don't know. Maybe you can play the piano and you can teach people the piano. It doesn't really matter. Any high income skill, right? But it always has the basis in sales. You have to be able to sell something in order to make money. Number 3, build a personal brand. Now, I wouldn't have got anywhere with my online coaching business when I was 16 if I didn't have a personal brand. And I did this by going back to point 1 again about not caring what other people thought and started posting online. And then using point 2, which was to learn a high income skill, which was sales, and do cold outreach and things like that to generate money from my personal brand. So I built this personal brand and I had, I don't know, maybe 3,000 or 4,000 Instagram followers, which isn't huge, but for a 16-year-old, it was quite niche. All those followers were in the powerlifting space. So I had a good amount of people to sell to. Now I built my personal brand basically through videos, information, like videos of me lifting, information of things I knew about lifting, and general like day-to-day life stuff. So it was nothing particularly special. I didn't do anything crazy. It's not as if I'd like won all these world championships in powerlifting. I wasn't that good. I got to British national championships and went to Gymshark and stuff like that. But I never was like a gold medalist, for example, in it. I was just good, but I was better than most people. But that was enough paired with my personal brand to make people trust me. Having a personal brand makes everything 100 times easier. Literally, it amplifies everything that you do. So as long as you've got a personal brand, There were times when I would sell coaching to people and they weren't even that interested in powerlifting. They just saw that I was credible, I was trustable, and they thought, well, maybe I'm just interested in the gym, for example. I'm the guy who's buying off me. I'm just a little bit interested in the gym, but this guy looks cool. I'm going to buy what he's selling. That was just because I had a good personal brand. It wasn't because I had exactly what he wanted. Maybe my powerlifting coaching wasn't specifically tailored to him, but he thought, wow, he looks trustworthy. Maybe there were a few other, like 3 or 4 other people he could have bought from who were more specific to his gym routine or his gym goals. But he saw me and he thought, wow, he looks like he can be trusted. And that was all because of my personal brand. So personal brands can make you a lot of money and it's extremely beneficial if you have one. Best way to build your personal brand is through social media. You literally need TikTok, Instagram, and maybe YouTube. That's it. TikTok and Instagram are the main two. I built my initial one off Instagram and TikTok. So as long as you've got a good amount of videos going on there, you don't necessarily need a lot of followers, but it will help. You need videos coming out, maybe 1, 2 per week, and you'll be fine. Number 4, surround yourself with the right people. Now, before we get onto this, although I may appear superhuman, I do actually have to consume water like everyone else. So please give me a second. Right, number 4, surround yourself with the right kind of people. There is absolutely no point being friends with losers. The worst kind of people you can hang around with is actually the people who try and drag you down when you do something well. They're absolute parasites. Get rid of them. As soon as you realize that, cut them off. There's absolutely no benefit. It doesn't matter how nice you think they are. They're a terrible person, just cut them off. If you're hanging around people who, when you, for example, say, hey, I've got this business idea, I want to try this, this, and this, maybe it'll make me rich. And they say, you're not going to be rich, you're too stupid for that, or something like that. Cut them off. There's absolutely no benefit to being around them. You shouldn't be around them. You shouldn't be wasting your time with them. Your time is limited. Your energy is limited. You need to spend it appropriately and spend it wisely. A lot of people end up spending their energy around people that bring their own energy down. It's a terrible idea. Don't do it. So you want to be around people who, for example, when we go back to that, say, hey, I want to start a business. I want to try this, this, and this. They say, that's a great idea. How about you do this, this, and this, and that might help you along the way. They're the type of people you want to be around. You don't want to be around people who drag you down. It's pointless. Absolutely pointless. Too many people make that mistake too. Too many people are okay being around losers. That is such a loser trait. Such a loser trait if you're going to sit there and just be like, oh yeah, like, Tom said he's going to start a business, but Tom's an idiot, so we should all talk behind his back about Tom starting a business, blah, blah, blah. Like, what are you doing? That's awful. Don't do that. So if you're that type of person, first of all, don't do that. Second of all, stop being around those types of people. Fifth and final point, be consistent and disciplined. Now, by this stage, you should have at least started your online presence, at least started your own business, online business by that, and have some form of good friend group. If you followed the previous steps, you should 1, have stopped caring what other people think, 2, have learned a high income skill that you can monetize, 3, built your personal brand, 4, started hanging around the right people, and now you're ready to start being consistent and disciplined, and that is how you're going to exponentially grow the things you've built. Now, consistency and discipline is literally the only shortcut. If anyone tries to sell you a shortcut or say, oh yeah, like pay me, I don't know, £1,000 and I'll just make you rich instantly, it's all a lie. It's all a lie. All you can do is be consistent and disciplined. The only thing you can, as a caveat to that, pay for is knowledge. Knowledge is one of the smartest things to buy. Obviously, for example, I've got 4 years of business experience. You probably don't have that. So if you were to say, okay, what can I pay you for that I don't already know? It would be knowledge, because there's things I've learned, there's things I've failed at, and things I've succeeded at during that period that you haven't that I could give you, for example. Now, if you want to do that, head to www.empires.one and I'll teach you there. Anyway, back to the video at hand, which is to be consistent and disciplined. Consistency is going to keep you going over a long period of time. First of all, you need to figure out what you can do for a long period of time. There's no point trying to do something that's really, really difficult and you feel like you're going to fail over 3 days if you know you need to be consistent at it. Right? For example, if you're making YouTube videos, there's no point making YouTube videos and then saying, oh, I'm going to do one every day, for example, because likelihood is you're not going to keep that up. You're not in the position to keep that up. So being consistent also revolves around being realistic. Be consistent and realistic. Push yourself, but be realistic. Now, my business, when I started my marketing and management company, I was 18 years old. For the first 3 months, I made literally no money. I made, I don't know, maybe 200 quid, 300 quid, and that was it. And I thought, wow, this is really, really bad. Month 4, I literally blew the doors off and I hit 6 grand in 1 month, which was crazy to me. I was 18 years old with 6 grand in 1 month. After that, oh my God, it started blowing up. It started absolutely blowing up. And I hit my first £50,000 month at the start of 2026. February 2026 was my first 50K month. Now, all that I did there was just consistency and discipline. I did the same things over and over and over again for a long period of time. And that's why I was successful. So finishing the video here, if you've enjoyed it, good. First link in the description. And if you thought this was good, I've got a whole bunch more good stuff on the first link in the description, and I'll teach you there. With that said, I've given you 5 very simple points that you can take into action today. Put them down, write them down, and start working through them, because it's so easy to watch a YouTube video and just think, oh yeah, I'll do that later, or oh, that was good, and then just never act on it. So actually take those points, 5 very simple points, start working through them chronologically, and I guarantee you it's going to help you in your business journey.